Next movement I want to show you is basically a quadruped pattern, except unlike a crawl, we're actually going to lift our knees off the ground. It has been called a beast by certain people, and the idea is start off in a quadruped position, right? And if you look at how I'm sitting, I've got my hips directly over my knees. And if you look at my points of contact, I have 2 feet, 2 knees, 2 hands. It gives me 6 points of contact. What we're going to do in order to move forward, unlike crawling, is we're going to keep the spine rigid. We're simply going to lift the knees off the ground. And you notice now I only have 4 points of contact. Now, in terms of walking, if you take a big step and I bring that knee too far under my chest, this hip is going to turn. And that means my body is going to be kind of snaking its way around. We don't want that. I want you to imagine that I'm going to place a yoga block right here. And so your movements have to be small. So rather than being like this, there's a lot of hip tilting. You want the movements to be really small. The spine stays very still. And if you look at watch my movements, my knees started a little behind my hips, but they came no further than under the hips. And so the pattern, demonstrate one more time, is in this position, coming up, and just start with a very simple movement. Now, we can also go sideways. Now, to go sideways, I want to teach you 2 patterns. Number 1 is we can do what's called a synchronized or an ipsilateral movement, where the same side, leg and arm will move together. So in essence, it'll be them moving together and then the opposite sides, them moving together and the opposite sides. We also have what we call a asynchronous or contralateral, which means this hand is going to move with that opposite leg. So in this case, I'm going to move them. Then it's going to be the opposite side. So it's going to be my left hand with my right knee, my left knee with my right hand. So there's the 2 patterns. If I show you now in the beast position, we're here. Synchronous movement is just this. All right. The asynchronous movement would be this. All right, where you're kind of moving contralateral.